This is going to be all about how to design and develop your digital product. This is where we will walk you through step by step the live action of how to do everything you need to know to create your digital product so you can earn digital dollars. So, if you guys are following along with me on your device, on your laptop is preferable, but you can actually use your iPad, your laptop, your phone. You can use any device that you please. So what we're going to do is go ahead on canva.com and go ahead and pull that website up. So once we get this website up, the first thing you guys will be doing if you have not used Canva already is you're going to create an account. So when you first go to the website, if you don't already have an account, you'll know because it's going to immediately prompt you to sign in or to create an account. So for you guys that don't have an account, be sure to go ahead and just use an email address that you have access to and go ahead and get yourself signed in. This is a free platform, but there is an option to have a pro account, which is what I have, because it's definitely well worth the investment if you plan on creating multiple digital products for your business in the near future. So what we're going to do is the first thing, once you guys are logged into your site, we're going to take first thing what we're going to do is give you guys just a brief overview of everything that you can do in this website. So as you guys can see, there's so many different options of what you can design. So if you look down here under what you might try, this is pretty much the template to create videos. You can create your Instagram posts for your social media. You can create logos, posts, stories. There's so many different options of what you can choose from. So as you can see, I'm using this right arrow on the right hand side, and this is just scamming through some of the suggested types of digital products that you can create. And these are pre-made templates where you would pretty much just click on these and it's already started with you, and you would go through and edit your color and your own style. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get into the rest of the website on what you can do in the other videos. So what we're going to do is stick with creating the worksheet. Okay, this is going to be learning how to design your own worksheet and create a worksheet. So there's different ways that you can do this. I'm going to show you both ways. So the first thing is here, this is your search bar. You can type in whatever you're looking for. So for example, if you're creating a worksheet, you would just type that in and you can click it to search for creating that worksheet. There's also another way which we'll go through as well. So first off, what you're going to be doing is choosing the template document size. And of course, if you're wanting a regular size worksheet like a sheet of paper, that's going to be about 8.5 by 11. So if you're choosing from the pre-made templates that are already here, as you can see, there's so many options. You would just scroll down, take a look at every single thing that they have. If you know what type of worksheet you're creating, then you can be more specific when you type this in the search bar. But there's so many different things you can start off with. You don't have to create it from scratch. When I first started doing this, I didn't know that there were so many pre-made templates and I was creating things from scratch. So we're just looking at all of these different things. As you can see, there's like journal pages, there's coloring book pages, so many options. So what we're going to do is go to the next way of creating it. This is the way I usually use this purple button right here on the right hand side at the very top. You're going to click where it says create a design. And the first thing that you see says customize size, custom size. So that's if you know specifically that you're wanting to create a specific dimension, and you would just click that to type in the size that you prefer. So with this, it's the same thing. You can scroll down to see what you would like, or you can type it in. So right now, what we're going to do as far as our practice example of the worksheet, we're going to go ahead and choose one of the ones here. So like I said, just type in, you can always type in what you want to speed up the process. So as you can see, there's so many different type of worksheets here. We're just going to click the very first one, which is 8.5 by 11. So Right here, the first thing that you want to do now that you have everything listed up as your size, we picked the large size, which is the size of a regular physical paper. But what I wanted you to remember is if you're in another country, the other most common size that people usually use is the A4 format. And if you know your dimensions, usually it's about 210 millimeters by 297 millimeters. So the size that you choose is really just going to depend on your audience. And like I said, if you're in the US, you tend to stick with the 8.5 by 11. And, if you're pretty much in another country and you're using another size, then you would go with that. So we're starting with a complete blank template. And what we're going to do first, this is what I do first. There's not a right or wrong way, but this is just to save you time in your process and to also stay organized throughout it. So we're going to rename this document. So at the top here, as you guys can see, there's a blank spot. This is where you would type in whatever it is that you are creating. So I'm just going to name this the practice worksheet. So as you can see, I have that there. That is going to be there once you save this document to your computer, which we'll go over towards the end as well. You naming this will be whatever project you're working on. It's pretty much self-explanatory. So before you design, you would do this first. But like I said, this is up to you. But I like to do this because it definitely saves you time and frustration later down the road, because you don't want to do all the hard work creating this worksheet, saving it to your computer, and then you have to scroll through so many of your downloaded files to find that you don't have anything labeled. So this is also good for organization as well as the SEO purposes, which is your keyword search. This is how people find your information. Like when you're using these as freebies and different things for your business, you want to be more specific, and it gives you higher rankings online, especially with Google as well. So now that we have created our headline title, what we're going to do is go through here. So as you can see, there's a recently used area at the very top. That's going to show different things that you've clicked on, even if you haven't really used it. That's going to be there. But like I said before, there's so many templates, so many different options to choose from, and you pretty much go through and check everything out, see what you want to create. So let's see what we're going to do today for practice. So yeah, they have it really with every single topic: science worksheet, social studies, art, handwriting. There's so many different options. Let's see if we can find just a basic. Okay, let's just pick this since Valentine's Day is going to be coming up soon. So right here, the first thing we would do, and like I said, you don't have to use a template. You can start completely from scratch, which is more work, like I did initially in the beginning of the process. So if you have your template here, I'm going to just move my camera face over. If you have your template here, the first thing I would suggest doing is starting with your title for your worksheet. This is the title where it says Valentine's Day. Here, we're going to go over a few things when it comes to titles. This is going to be the first part that we're going over, which is your font. So when you use a font, really the typical rule of thumb is to stick with 1 to 2 fonts, which is your main font and your subtitle font. So you usually want to stick with 2 different fonts that you'll use on all of your work, which shows your branding and your own unique style for your business. So there's so many different options. These here is always going to be a recently used area where it's showing what you've used before. Like I said, even if you clicked on it, it's going to show up there as well. We're going to go over brand kits in another video, but this is the brand kit. So here, as you can see, our Business Polish Society, these are the 2 fonts that I like to use. This one here, the first one, is almost like a cursive italicized font. This is what I like to use for headings. So I'm going to use that. And then the second one here is for my subtitles. So once you select the font that you would like, as you can see, as I'm scrolling down, you can see all of the different options to choose from. There's so many. Since I do have a Canva Pro account, what I'm going to tell you so you can understand this separation. Anything right here with the crown on the side, on the right hand side, that means you have to have a Canva Pro account, which is not expensive at all. That we'll go over later on another video as well. But as a Canva Pro user, pretty much you'll have access to a lot more choices. And all of the ones with the crown are ones that you would have to have the pro account for. But I'm telling you, there's so many without the crown, and you have a lot of options to choose. So the Canva Pro is a great feature once you know for sure that you've gotten the hang of the basics, and you can definitely go ahead and upgrade, or you can upgrade in the beginning to do as you please. So now that we have our font here for the title, what we're going to do, since this is pretty large, see how I just used the mouse and this little arrow on the left and the right side is pretty much how you would expand it for it to be long. So as far as changing the size of your font, there's two ways. I'm going to show you both. With the mouse, you can use these white dots on both corners or either on one corner and simply click, drag and slide it down in place. You can do it that way to resize it. You can also click here. This is your font size at the top. As you can see right now, it's at 64.9. So I'm just going to click on 32 so you guys can see how small that made it. Another thing we didn't mention was here at the bottom right corner. If you guys can see the 37% here, this is your zoom of your overall document. So usually 100% is the full size, but while you're creating, if you're like me, you would want to see overall what you're doing and not so up close. That way you can make sure everything is aligned. Instead of 100, this is 100. This is having it at a good size to see everything that you're doing. But what I like to do is I go back and forth between 100 and a little bit smaller, just so I can see everything else that I'm doing. So sometimes I'll do 50 and sometimes I'll click on 75%. So we're at 75%, which is how we'll be able to see everything that we're doing. So we have went over the font size, we've went over the title and the font type. So with this, we're going to go over your title color. Your title color, you can do this either or. You would highlight, you click your mouse from the back or starting at the front, you would highlight the whole word, the whole title. And right here, this is your text color, right where the A is. So here, for example, if we're just playing around with the editor, you can see there's so many document colors. And like I said, we will go over the brand kit as well. This is a feature of the Canva Pro account for users that have the Canva Pro. As you guys know, Poly Society's brand colors, red, gold, black, and white. And then this one here is just part of the brand kit. Sometimes I use it as an undertone, but I'm just showing you guys this is always going to be here if you have created your brand kit in your pro account. So this is where it's easy to just access your own colors instead of choosing from the many that they have. But we're going to look at all of the default colors. These are default colors here. And you can also select any random color that you'd like. You can use this little dot to drag around and you can move it and look at what you're doing as you're doing it. You can also drag below here to select any color. So as you can see, now it's purple, now it's back red, it's blue. So this is pretty much self-explanatory. Like I said, using this website is completely easy. It's very great to use for beginners. Now what we're going to do is play around with the worksheet. Since we already are attached with the template, this makes it pretty much easy. So with your worksheet, this here is an image. Okay, so with images, some images that you choose, you can pretty much change the element colors of it, and some you can't. So you'll know whether or not you can change the colors in this image when you click it. If you see these boxes pop up on the left hand side at the top, those are showing all the different colors that are included in this separate image. So if you wanted to change those hearts from that color to red, you would be able to do it just like that. if you wanted to change the envelope color to blue, or that's actually the inside background color. But like I said, this is self-explanatory. And if you guys need any help on any part of anything that I discuss throughout these videos when it comes to designing and developing, please let me know. If you're part of the online course, then you'll email me at clientsupport-polish@society.com and request to have me do some more videos. I have a YouTube channel where I'll be posting different tutorials on different things as requested to see what you guys need a little more assistance with. And if you're a part of the Polish Sanity Academy, this is our 4-week group coaching program. This is where we'll dive deeper into every single thing: content creation, designing your digital products, developing everything. So we'll go break down all of the major 4 steps, and we'll dive deeper into any specific questions that you guys have. Everything is going to be hands-on, group coaching, Q&A, so much more. So with that being said, and I hope I'm not going too fast for you guys, I get so excited when it comes to this because it's so fun to use your creativity, to be unique, to just use your own personal touch on this. It's just so much fun to do. So I get a little excited when it comes to this. So let's see, where were we? So for instance, if you did not want to use this image, you would pretty much go to photos on your left hand side. And like I said, recently used is always helpful because it's going to show you everything you've used in the past. And if you're wanting to reuse something again, you're going to click on it and it pops right up. So there's so many things to look through. I'm telling you, you guys literally will have to take your time and go through the website and just look at everything you have to work with before creating. So we're looking at a trending category. This is like pictures that most people are using. So we're going to scroll through here briefly. But as you can see, if there's something that you want specifically, what you can do is pretty much just type it in, and like I said, it's going to be the same thing as far as fonts. If you see the crown symbol at the bottom right of any of the photos, that means it's for Canva Pro. So for instance, if I wanted a different type of heart for this worksheet, you type in heart. If you wanted a specific color, you can type it in. But remember, most of these pictures, you can change the colors. So let's just do this one here. For example, this is one of the images that you cannot change the color to. The reason how you would know this is once you click it, if you can see here, there's no color palette that pops up. But when you click edit image, you can change the brightness by just clicking left and right, sliding your mouse across, and you can change that. That's the brightness, the contrast. There's filters that you can use. Right now it's on none. So there's so many things you can do. Edge, there's so many different filters you can select. And this is if you're on a picture that's already where you can't change the colors, but you can still do any of the filters. And as far as cropping, when you're cropping, this is more so if you have an extra large image and you're not having it where it's not fitting in the box that you have, that we wouldn't have to deal with this right now, but we'll discuss that as it comes up when we're designing. So right now, I'm going to show you guys a little trick, which is teaching you guys how to flip an image. For example, we're going to make this smaller. As you guys remember, I told you you would click here, drag down to make it smaller, and to expand it back, you're holding down on your mouse on the left clicker while you're doing this, and you're moving it up or down. Okay, so we're going to move this here. And I'm going to show you a few things. So for instance, if you guys wanted to use this here and do a duplicate one on this side, like you want to do one on the left and one on the right, what you would do is click this here, and you see how the box highlights it. On your very right hand side, you would click these two boxes that are together with the plus sign that says duplicate, and it's that simple, literally. So you would click that. As you can see, it made a second one. So we'll slide that wherever you want it. Once you have it here, if you guys can tell, the hand is turned the opposite way. So if you're wondering how in the world would that look right, it doesn't look right. So what we would do is use this option above, flip. So there's two ways to flip. You can do it horizontal or vertical. Like we're going to go ahead and do the horizontal. And as you guys can see, it just flipped the hand to where it's facing the middle, and both of these are together. If you want to change your mind and you don't want to use an image, you can just select it and hit the little trash can button, and it goes away. Okay, so also with the title, one thing that I didn't mention, highlighting this, for example, if you want this to show in the very middle of the page as your title, here is where you can fix the alignment. So there's different options. As you can see how the lines change, that's where you center it. And if you click it again, it's going to be right aligned. So you can have it in these three options: left aligned, right aligned, or center. Okay, so we have that. And then also, if you want to change the color, you click it 2 times and you can go back and change it to another color as well. All right, so if you're wanting to create the words as you see here, this is like a subtitle under your main title. The way they did that was, like I said, over here on your left side, there's going to be so many different things to work with. We're going to text, okay? Clicking text allows you to choose from your brand kit. Of course, when you have Canva Pro, you'll have the benefit of using your brand kit, which means that all of your text, your fonts that you choose to use for your brand will already be here, where you don't have to keep searching each time you're doing a document. I'm telling you, this is definitely, it's worth the payment. It's only $12.99 a month for the one I'm on. There's different options depending on what you guys want to work with, but you guys will find that information out in another video as well. So this is my brand kit with the fonts that I chose to use. But if you're wondering, okay, what is it that I can use? Okay, you'll go ahead and scroll down. Like I said, there's so many to choose from. So many. So if you are wanting a regular type font like what it is here, you would just pretty much choose the one at the beginning. When you first go to text, instead of the brand kit of what you see that I have, it's going to show the regular text box. But like I said, you can type in things, whatever you would like. So for instance, we're going to click that. And as you see how it popped up here, anytime you want to move anything, you click it. Make sure you can see the outline of the box. Move it as you please. And like I said, just for example, we're putting it on top of what's already here to show you how you can easily edit to your preference. With this being said, you would double click. You would change your font if you need to. We're going to just click on any one just to show you guys how easy this is. Clicking on that font, we can change this to any color. We can change the font. That 10 is very small. We're just going to do 28. Okay, so some fonts that you use, you can make it bold. If you want to do bold, it's going to be the B right next to where you change the colors. And you can also use the italics, and it's only available for certain type of fonts. Certain ones are branded on how they're already created. So you would put your text here, go ahead and type whatever it is that you want it to type. There's effects that you can use on your text. Right now it's on none. You can use the shadow. You can use lift, splice. With splice, let me move this above so you guys can see this. Let's just get rid of that one for now so you guys can see. Okay. With the effects, for instance, we're on splice. If you want to have like a two-tone color effect, right here, you can click this box here and we'll click black. As you guys can see, now it's like a purple and black together. And now you have that. This text is actually more used for headings, but this is all your own creativity, your own uniqueness. For regular lines, these lines are already here. Like I said, it's easy when you select a worksheet template that's already done. It saves you time, energy, and effort. But if you're wanting to do it from scratch, you would go click on your left hand side, as you guys can see where I clicked on elements. Okay. And as you can see, there's different categories. Everything is bolded for each category type. You would click on lines and shapes, but I'm just going to go ahead and scroll down and let you guys see what other things are here. There's graphics, there's photos, videos. You can add audios, but we're using a worksheet, of course, for this video. So we'll get to that when it comes up. But you can add charts, you can add tables, frames, grids. There's so many options. So we're going to click a line. As you can see, this line popped up here. You can change this line to any color by clicking the box here. And another thing just to remember, a lot of the things here are just really hovering over. When you move your mouse over certain aspects in the platform, you'll see it says color. So you click here, and like I said, you click on the color you want. Okay, so for instance, you're wanting to make this worksheet just like this with all of the lines. You would duplicate these lines. That is where we would click the little box on the right hand side, duplicate, and as you can see, another one popped up. And literally you're holding, what you do is, if it's here, you grab with your mouse by clicking the left clicker on your mouse, holding that down, and you're literally moving up or down. So it would be the same thing. So for instance, if I want to use this white dot at the end and the beginning is where you can use to drag to the left or right to extend the line to make it longer, and you let it go. It's, you can move it up or down. If you wanted to do it right there, you could. If you want to get rid of it and change your mind, you trash it and it goes away. Okay. So while I'm thinking about it, I just want to remind you guys, in the middle of creating your worksheet, one tip that I do, just in case you have any type of issue with your internet or whatever happens, you have to get up, I would always do this process. And this is what we're going to do. You're going to go to File. You're going to go to Save. And it says all changes saved at the top. You always check here to make sure it says all changes saved. And what this does is pretty much it holds what you have so far. It's not finalizing the document, but it is really getting you squared away. So if you have to get up and use the bathroom, whatever the case may be, if your laptop went on sleep mode and you come back, you don't want to lose all of the hard work that you've already worked towards. So you continue to work. Like I said, once you have your lines, you would pretty much duplicate the process. With the numbers, you can do this two ways. You can use the box that is here, or you can go back to the text area on your left and you would select the text. I'm going to show you this above. Okay, so for instance, if you're ready to change this where it says add heading, highlighted and select, you would click backspace and go ahead and type your number. Number 5, you press the period button on your keyboard for the dot and unclick it so you see what you did. Okay, so see how we have that number 5? Depending on what size you want it to be, you can either drag, make it smaller or make it large with the mouse, or you can click here and change your font size to any one that you wish. So once you get familiar with doing this process so many times, you'll know which certain number you're using. So like I like to do is work smart, not hard. So with this, how we have that number 5, for instance, there's different ways of doing it, and really it's all about how you feel comfortable and what works best for you. And I do it, sometimes I do it one way and sometimes I'll do it another way because I like change and I like to challenge myself when I'm doing a repetitive task. So we have this 5 here. Like I said, you can duplicate this and it makes it so much easier. Okay. Sometimes when you're doing the ones with the numbers, this little duplicate box that we saw here before will go away. But if you click the 3 lines for more, it shows the rest of your options and it's right here. So you would click that You can do it any way it pleases you. You can click however many you need all at once, or you can do it one at a time. So you can just click away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. You can do it this way, and then one by one line them up. And as you can see, as I'm dragging, if you guys can see the 3 pink lines together, that is how you know whether or not your alignment is going to be great. So when you look at it, you put it above it. If you can see that it's in alignment together, it's going to all line up well. So this is just showing you guys very quickly. I don't want the video to be too long because all this is really trial and error. This is you practicing and getting your groove on what works best for you. So if you want to add your branding at the bottom of the worksheet, of course, this is something you definitely want to do to protect your work when you're posting it online, or if you're selling your items, or if you're giving it out for a freebie. So you would select the text here, okay, and you highlight it, okay, or you can like drag with your mouse, backspace, and then you would pretty much type in whatever you want to type, whether it's your website or if it's the name of your company. You would type in what you want. So for instance, you see how we just did that? This is our website, okay? So you have that there. You have your title. You have your lines. We've also went over how to number your worksheet, how to add images to your worksheet. And let's see, what else do you guys need to use as far as worksheet? Let's see. So if you're wanting to upload if you want to upload your own image to your own worksheet, you would go to uploads here on the left. And of course, you guys see all of my business documents here that I've created for you guys in this course and in this academy. This is all of the things that I've uploaded, so many things, of course. So what you would do is go ahead and click upload media. It's going to pop up a box that shows everything you have in your device. So this part is something you would most likely want to do on your laptop or your iPad. But if you have things already saved in your phone, you can use it as well. So you would pretty much, this is just going to be an example. Okay. You click on it, whatever it is you want to upload, and you hit open. All right. And you see how that just popped up? It's going to pop up here always as the first thing. So when you're ready to use it, you simply just click it. And now you see that image popped up here. All right. So we're going to drag it to the top. This is something that's saved on a white background, so it's here. What we're going to do, actually, we didn't go over changing the color of your actual worksheet. So most people want to do the worksheet white, but if you don't want to do a white worksheet, you would pretty much click, as you can see, the blue line around the border of the worksheet is kind of highlighted. Click it, and that's what makes this box come up. This is the same background color box that we've been using. So you would click. If you want to make the whole worksheet purple, boom. It's that simple, you guys. You guys can do this, okay? So we have a purple worksheet. We just did something simple just to show you guys how to play around with adding your image. Adding the image, like I said, you can make it large, you can make it smaller, and there we go. You can move it around. If you need to move anything, if you change your mind, you can erase. And that's pretty much it. So let's see, highlight it again. If you don't want it purple and you changed your mind, of course, you click the white. Okay. And like I said, all changes save. Sometimes it'll auto save after you make a new change on it. Sometimes it won't. So the only thing I suggest is to keep up with saving it. That way you don't run into any headaches, because believe me, I've did it so many times and it's not a fun thing to do. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I forgot to mention when it comes to worksheets before we close out on this video. Looks like that's pretty much it when it comes to worksheets. Like I said, the templates are here to help you when it comes to something that you already know has been created before. They pretty much give you a large option of a lot of different types of worksheets, so you can, play around with it. Oh, you know what? I actually thought of something else you guys haven't learned. So one thing here, if you want to change your mind, I would suggest clicking the option on whatever it is you want to take away and hitting the trash. But you can also click this left arrow to undo your last choice. So you saw how it went back to purple. That's undo. And if you want to go back, you would click the right. If you want to say never mind, I'll put it back. So the only thing about that is it's not really saving your thing. So you have to remember to keep saving. I would suggest not to do that way. Excuse me. Sorry, you guys. So I would suggest not to do that way. But if you want to, you can. So we're going to get rid of most of the junk that I added here just so you guys can see. Oh, and another thing is you can highlight a lot of things together. I'm going to get rid of that because that was just an extra. Let's see. So we're going to get rid of the extra things that I've already done and just show you, for example, like when we were doing the lines. I'm going to erase that one. With your mouse, you can, like I said, hold down on your left, highlight and bring it down. You see how that just highlighted the box around all these numbers? So with this, what you're going to do is hit group. Okay, when you're grouping this, I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the best tricks that you guys can learn because this saves you time. Okay, this saves you time just in case you're not paying attention and something moves out of place. When you group it, it's making it all like one element, one package. Okay, so you can ungroup it if you change your mind and you need to move something or fix something. You can do that. And let's see. There's something else I didn't tell you guys. You can lock any part of the element. For example, after you've done your lines, your numbers for your worksheet, you can lock. Once you've grouped these elements together, you can hit the lock, which is locking this part. So that means if you see what I'm doing, you cannot remove this because it's locked. And that helps you while you're doing all the other things just in case you make a mistake. So when you lock it, that's holding it down where it won't move. Okay, and you can lock images, same way, click the lock, it's not going to move. See how that one you can snatch around, and when you lock it, it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, also, let's see. If you're not doing a workbook, we're going to go over workbooks in a separate video. But if you're just doing a 2-page document, it's very simple. Duplicate page right here. You would click this right above the page and voila, second page. So this is like a 2-page worksheet now. So if you don't want it, you change your mind, you would delete page and it deletes that one. So when it's time for you to finalize your worksheet and you're completely done, you would go ahead to file. Okay, and remember, you've already named it, but if you happen to put more work in and realize you want to change the name, go ahead and change it before you save. So you would go down to save. Okay, and right here, this down arrow is one way you can do it, to click to go ahead and download, or the 3 dots here is the same thing. Okay, so there's different areas what you can choose from. We're downloading, so you would click download. Right here where it says file type, you can choose what type of document. This is one of the most important parts when finalizing your worksheet, because for one, depending on where you're putting your worksheet, this is why it's going to matter. Okay, PNG is a high quality image, and this is only going to be an image. Like for instance, if you're using this worksheet on social media, or adding it in your stories, this is what you would use for PNG. It's just a high quality image. I'm sure you guys are already familiar with JPG. Those are just small file images. And let's see. Yeah, the one I use is PDF print. Okay, PDF print. That's a high page document, a high quality document. I'm sorry. So you're gonna click that. Make sure the file type is showing. Okay, before you print, if you wanted to double check to make sure everything is aligned properly, you would click the box crop marks and bleed, and that's pretty much where it's going to show it in your print, so you don't have to do that. Okay, so go back to download. You can unclick it, and then it's simple. You will pretty much click download, and right here on the bottom right hand corner, you'll see it downloading, and voila, it's right here. They'll always give you this little celebratory message showing the image that you created, and then you'll also see your download pop up at the bottom right corner in your device. So we're going to open it. Okay. Now, here we are. This is our final document. Practice worksheet was what we named it. This is how it looks when it's saved and you pull it up. So it's a PDF because we chose that option. And as you can see, we're going to scroll down. Okay, and there we are. But you know what? As we can see, as me playing around before we locked the image, as you can see how these disappeared. The numbers are not even there. So that's why I said in the beginning, when you're grouping your category together, make sure that everything is correct. I believe I slid it down. So right here, you can group your numbers as well. Okay, so we slid it down by accident before saving it and before grouping it, but that's no problem, because once you go back and realize there was a mistake, go back to your downloads right here. You would just right click and delete. Okay, get rid of it, exit out, and then you could just pretty much download it again. That's all. Okay, so this was self-explanatory. I try not to make this video too long, but I just want to be able to touch on a lot of points that you guys may, any questions that you guys may have had when it comes to worksheets. Like I said, the template section in this category is going to be your best bet, so you don't have to create from scratch. But if you do want to create from scratch, that was why I broke down all of the categories, going through your elements, selecting your lines, and so forth. Okay, so as you can see, there was different type of lines, arrows, and so forth. So right now we're going to go ahead and conclude this video. This was how to design and develop your worksheet from scratch on Canva. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to check out our YouTube page, Official Polished Queen, and we're going to be starting up our Polished Society YouTube page pretty soon, so be sure to go ahead and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one.